All right, guys, today we're going to be diving into Barrell Bourbon Batch 32. Now, this one was distilled in Tennessee, Kentucky, and Indiana. It is 5 years old and comes in at 115.34 proof. Definitely excited to get into this one, but I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the breakdown of what's inside this bottle. All right, guys, so I want to give you a breakdown of what's inside this Barrell Batch 32. So it started off with two sets of barrels, one of them being a blend of 5 and 6 year old that offered a tropical and creamy profile. The other was a 6, 7, and 10 year old blend that offered a old, complex, and woody profile. And then it finally ended off with a 7 year that had some notes of like cinnamon toast, coffee bean, and chocolate. That was added into this. So there's a lot of different blends going into this this Barrell Batch 32. Again, there was distillate in there from Tennessee, Kentucky, and Indiana. Definitely excited to get into this one, guys. Let's go ahead and get into the nose. A lot of like orchard fruit. As soon as I put my nose into it, definitely pick up like some peaches, a little bit of like some pineapple. Actually, it's more on the tropical side. It's a really nice like lemon, like almost like a lemon bar there as well. Very, very sweet, very candy-like on the nose. Fruit-forward candy-like. Yeah, they're really nice, like there's like a pineapple and peach kind of mixture going on there. Get a little bit of like sweetness from some caramel a little bit further away from the glass. But this one just it smells like it's going to be like it's going to be creamy on the profile, on the palate. Yeah, definitely a lemon bar in there. There's definitely some citrus kind of playing off those, with that pineapple and that peach. I do pick up something a little bit darker in there, though. I don't know. I don't know if it's like a milk chocolate or milk chocolate. Maybe a little bit of like maybe a little bit of leather or something like that. Definitely further into the glass. Further into the glass is more of those fruity, like darker notes. Further away, get a little bit of vanilla, some caramel in there. Really nice nose, guys. Let's get into the palate. Cheers. Man, that's good. It is very, very mouth coating. It is definitely, it has a very creamy profile to it. So on the front, I got like this little bit of like candy sweetness, maybe a little bit of like a cherry licorice. Middle of the palate, I started to feel some like rye spice flavors come up, some rye spice burn. But that's kind of where the fruit is kind of dominating the palate right now. I'm definitely picking up some orchard fruits, a little bit of apple, a little bit of peach in there. And then towards the finish, we get a slight like peppery finish. But then there is definitely like this like espresso chocolatey note that kind of flows through into the finish. With that pepper. Really nice first sip. Like how creamy it is. It's very like I said, it's very mouth coating, and it's still the finish on it's actually really long. It's still continuing to go down with that pepper. Like I get more of an espresso than I do like a chocolate on the finish, but I got more of a chocolate than I did an espresso on the nose. A chocolate or leather on the nose. It was like almost like a combination of both. Really nice first sip, though. Let's get into the second one. Yeah, so tip of the tongue, again, it's like this cherry sweetness from like a Twizzler almost. And then there's like those orchard fruits that really, really play on the center of that palate there. I don't pick up a lot of citrus. It's more like some apple and some peach. And then now flowing from like the middle to the back of the palate, a little bit of that pineapple is starting to pop through, which I really, really like. I love those tropical notes in it. It almost reminds me of the original seagrass a little bit, that tropical vibe to it. I really, really like that though, like that fruit forward. But then as it goes back, it's just like the dark side of things. It's like that espresso and then that black peppery finish that kind of flows through into the back. I need to pour a little bit more real quick. Got a little happy with my my pours there. Let's get into the last sip, guys. Cheers. Yeah, so again, so front of the palate. All right, so a little bit changed there. More, definitely there's some more complexity to it that just kind of popped through. So front of the palate, again, that cherry sweetness hasn't really gone away. Cherry licorice. Middle of the palate, you're still getting those orchard fruits, a little bit of like apple, like a red Macintosh apple, some peaches. Not really picking up any citrus though. But then from the middle of the palate into the back is really probably my favorite. Again, you start to pick up some of that tropical vibe, that pineapple. There's definitely that some baking spices that kind of popped up on that last sip there. There is a little bit of cinnamon, almost like a cinnamon raisin or something there on the back. And then it flows into this like espresso bean, peppery, long, lingering finish. And it's very creamy on the mouthfeel. I really, really like that about this one. Again, the sweetness up front is nice. And I didn't pick up a lot of vanilla and a lot of caramel on this one. I think that the fruitiness of this one kind of just dominated everything. And then you flip over to the finish where it's like the dark side just came out of nowhere. I really, really like that about this one. Again, front of the palate, like cherry Twizzlers, middle of the palate, Macintosh apple, peaches. Middle to the back of the palate, you start to pick up a little bit of tropical vibe from the pineapple. Into the finish, there is a little bit of baking spices in there, like cinnamon raisin, and it flows into an espresso and peppery finish. Amazing batch 32 here, guys, from Barrell Craft Spirits. So I want to thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. I want to send a big thank you to the team over at Barrell Craft Spirits for supplying me with the sample to review on the channel. Overall thoughts on this batch 32, guys. Again, this definitely is a more complex bourbon than I thought it was going to be. Looking at the breakdown of what it had to offer, I honestly thought it was going to be just straight like fruit forward, fruit dominant. I was completely wrong about it. This one really kind of just really shifted its complexities on the palate. It went from that fruit forwardness to the on the front, the middle of the palate, tropical vibe, and then this amazing dark side to this one on the finish. This is definitely a standout for me. I really enjoy this one. I do want to finish off this sample just to see if anything else changes, because this definitely is a complex bourbon here. There are a lot of layers to this one, as many of the barrel batches are. There's a lot of layers to a lot of them. Again, they are some of the best blenders in the business, if not the best. They definitely know what they're doing when it comes to marrying these barrels and marrying the bourbons that have been in here to acquire the flavors that they're looking for. But again, this one is definitely a standout. Batch 32, fantastic grab if you guys can go find one. So if you guys are looking for more reviews like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and bell notification to be alerted of any upcoming reviews or live streams. You can also find me on Instagram at Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. And until next time, guys, stay dusty.